What's good, y'all? We are back. We are back and we are live. You guys are gonna really enjoy the story behind this as far as why we're back and we're live. So much so, I had to put on a whole new getup for you guys after I had a minute to recharge and all that for you all. All right, so let me set this up properly for you guys, as I know we're going to have some people that's going to be trickling on in here, and they're probably going to be, wait a minute, Lee is live again? What the hell is going on here? All right, so let's set this up properly. So we did a WWE Royal Rumble live watch along, and it was great. Shout out to everybody that had popped up and they hung out. Y'all know exactly who you are. Appreciate that. And after the live watch along was out, that live watch along had went for about grand total 4 hours and some change, because I stuck around for about maybe 20 minutes afterwards, and I had provided some overall thoughts about the pay-per-view. You know, it pretty much was really, after it was all said and done watching it, what more, you know, was there to say, you know? So I added some final thoughts to it and everything, and that was that. So show's over. I was chatting it up with the wifey afterwards, and all of a sudden, I had got a YouTube notification in my email. So I'm going, okay, what exactly is this about? Let me see what's up here. So apparently through Sony Pictures in India representing WWE, they basically had claimed a copyright. Didn't hurt the channel or anything like that, but they had hit me with a copyright, and they basically were saying that the audio from the Royal Rumble watch along pretty much had matched their content, and that's what they were claiming. So as a result of that, we're talking, and I don't know how many countries. It was definitely in the triple digits, though, let me tell you. It included North America. Good old USA was on the block list. So those that initially had watched the live watch along were great, but anybody that was coming in after the fact that were watching it for on demand, they weren't able to see it. So I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? So I told wifey what had happened, and first thing she said to me, so what are you going to do? I'm like, well, I usually win these copyrights with WWE. Yeah, this is my first time doing a live watch along. Why should this one be any different? Because, and I'm sure you guys would agree, wait a minute, Lee, that's kind of stupid, because you weren't showing us any visual. That is correct. But they were trying to really focus on the audio that was playing. So I did counter their copyright, and I basically had said, look, you know, what we were doing was a reaction piece to the whole pay-per-view. You know, we were interacting with people in the chat, you know, providing live commentary, providing thoughts, live reactions. You know, if anything, we were talking over the audio of the actual pay-per-view that was playing. So, I mean, really, you could chalk this up to a reaction video piece. So, we'll see what happens. WWE. Playing, so, I mean, really, sorry about that. WWE basically has you know, like 30 days to respond to this copyright counterclaim that I put in, and they're either gonna let it go, or they're gonna say, no, we're sticking to our guns on this one. We got you in the wrong. So we'll see what happens. I mean, worst case scenario, nothing's gonna happen to the YouTube channel or anything. If I lose, it's just gonna be a case of, no, Lee, bad. You know, you can't do that. This stands. We side with WWE on this one. So we'll see what happens. I mean, in the past, WWE has tried to put copyrights on my shit, and I've won every single time. This is the first time, I'll be honest with you guys, this is the first time I'm battling them on a copyright of this type of, because this is a different beast. So this is my first time going head to head with them on something like this. So we'll see what happens. But so wifey wanted to know, so what are you going to do? It's like, I'm getting ready to go to bed. What are you going to do? because we're actually going to be celebrating our anniversary, not our wedding anniversary, but we're actually going to be celebrating the anniversary, when we met and everything. We're officially going to be celebrating that later this afternoon, Sunday afternoon. So she's like, what are you going to do now? I said, well, I was like, I got to prepare. If I lose this copyright, like, we got to have something in black and white for the folks so they know without a shadow of doubt how I was feeling in regards to the pay-per-view. So that's why we're here right now. Okay, so look, the way we're going to do this, and I told you guys, and for those of you that had missed the watch along, what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make the watch along be accessible video. I'm going to have it be a separate upload on the YouTube channel, but it's just going to be a private link, and that'll be available for our Patreon members. Whether or not it's going to just remain behind a paywall, as far as the visual, I don't know about that just yet, but that's the first thing that comes into mind. The other thing that comes into my mind right now is to release the audio version of that live watch along for on demand and on the downloads. I don't believe that would get us in any type of trouble whatsoever. The audio, I'm thinking just put that everywhere. Those that just want to see the visual, I think I would just have that behind a paywall for Patreon. And then for just hearing the audio itself, right, just so we can have something out there, in black and white, right? So I think that's probably how we're going to do this. But this, now that we got all the formalities out the way, man, I'm going to be in and out on this one. There's no reason why, to reiterate what I said during that live watch along, there's no reason why anybody should be going an hour plus talking about this pay-per-view, not unless it's a situation where maybe they're opening up the phone lines and they're interacting with their listeners or whatever. But yeah, we're going to be in and out on this one. So WWE Royal Rumble 2022, it's now in the books. Got a poll up asking folks on Twitter and on the YouTube channel over on the communities tab. You can go vote that way. What did you think about the pay-per-view? And the results so far are pretty damn interesting. I got to say to you guys, we'll get to the polling results right now. Let's go ahead and let's fucking go there. To Twitter we go right now. And first up, I am seeing, and this was put out pretty much immediately after the pay-per-view was over and done with. Right now, via Twitter, 3 options. I thought about it a little bit more. I knew what I was trying to say in the polling results. So you're going to notice a slight difference when we get ready to mention the YouTube results. But over on Twitter, we got thumbs up, thumbs down, worst Royal Rumble, man. 5% thumbs up. 50% thumbs down. 45% felt it was the worst Royal Rumble. That's on Twitter. Now, going over to YouTube on the communities tab at the RCWR show, very early, very, 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 very early on YouTube. But this is going to change drastically. I promise you, by the time most folks in the USA get up for the day, this is going to jump significantly. But right now, 100% of the votes are coming in. I simplified it a little better. Thumbs up, great show from top to bottom. Thumbs down, that show sucked, worst Rumble ever. 100% of the votes are going in for the latter right now. You guys got to forgive me if you hear me sipping on some tea over here. I did 4 hours pretty much nonstop. And here I am yet again. We're doing this, but I'm going to be in and out on this one. Look, this pay-per-view had some bright spots here and there. And I do mean a few, because there was very little, but there were a few bright spots. But there was a lot of bad spots in this as well. I mean, look, can we be in agreement that we've seen worse Royal Rumble pay-per-views? Yes, we could definitely be in agreement of that. Was this one of the worst Royal Rumble pay-per-view events, though, in recent memory? Yes, it definitely was. It was. Now, look, kudos to WWE. They pretty much were in and out. They did pretty much 5 matches, which involved 2 Royal Rumbles, 2 WWE Championship matches. Actually, no. 3 WWE Championship matches. Yeah, let's get the math right. We actually had 3 WWE Championship matches, 2 Royal Rumbles, and we had a intergender mixed tag match, right? So you had a little bit of something for everybody here on this card. I like that WWE kept it very tight. They kept it very concise. I like we didn't get bombarded with any pay-per-views, right? It was just one of those, all right, don't need to worry about no pre-show. Don't need to worry about that. Ain't going to be no pre-show dark matches, nothing like that. You ain't going to be missing out. Just tune in for the actual pay-per-view. I give them a lot of credit for that. The first match, out of the gate, I thought that was pretty damn good between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I love the psychology that was laid out during that match. Really following up on what we've seen play out over the past couple of weeks between Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, but really culminating in what went down on this past Friday's SmackDown, as we saw that great emphasis, really the last 2 SmackDowns, but definitely that go home SmackDown, seeing all of that great emphasis put on, hey, remember the days of the Shield, and Seth Rollins was the one that pretty much had messed all of that up. Seth Rollins was the one that pretty much blew that bad boy up and going his own way and everything. Of course, what had a lot of people, ooh, he said the taboo word, which is basically, hey, he brought up Dean Ambrose. And there is an interview that he gave with the guys over there from Inside the Ropes where he revealed why he brought up Dean Ambrose's name, the circumstances surrounding it, and why he felt so compelled to mention the name and everything. If you didn't check out that interview, go out of your way, check it out. It's actually a pretty fun listen and everything, and you get to see Seth and all of that. But I like the fact that when we went into this, you got Seth Rollins with the psychological games there, really strong as psychological game that he was playing too, as he's dressed in his Shield attire, really trying to fuck with Roman Reigns. I like that. I ate that shit up. That was pretty damn good. Match itself, so of a match. I still have the scorecard here too for the ratings that I gave for all the matches when we wrap things up on the live watch along. And I rated this match out of a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being shit, 10 being awesome sauce. I gave it a 7. I couldn't find myself going any higher, and I definitely couldn't find myself going any lower in this one. I thought it was a good match between Roman and Rollins all throughout. 14 minutes and some change of a match that it was. It pretty much ending in a disqualifier. That I'm sure that probably took a lot of people, blindsided the hell out of a lot of people. For me, I didn't have a problem with the fucking DQ. I thought it was all right to fucking go that route, because after all, you got one more pay-per-view before WrestleMania, and that's WWE Chamber. So you pretty much go there. You know, you can pretty much tie up any loose ends you need to tie up, and then boom, you're pretty much on to WrestleMania. Because remember, we got Elimination Chamber that's going to be coming up in about 3 weeks, and then after that, boom, WrestleMania time. So let's talk about the final moments of this matchup. By the way, I just love seeing as Seth Rollins was getting his ass kicked around by Roman. I just love seeing my boy just busting up laughing. I mean, he had a Joker-like mentality that was going on there, right? And, when you really kind of stop and think about it, honestly, it reminded me so much of one of my favorite hit TV shows right now that's on NBC, Law and Order Organized Crime. Christopher Maloney came back to a beloved character that made him a household name in Elliot Stabler with Law and Order Organized Crime. He came back to that character. And we've seen him take on this main antagonist in Dylan McDermott's Wheatley character, and it is a great love-hate relationship that is going. Actually, I won't say love. It is a hate relationship that's going on between Wheatley and Stabler right now. And anybody that has been watching a few episodes of it, you could definitely see the traces of those characters I'm talking about in Roman and in Rollins. One particular scene, I remember there was a most recent episode of Organized Crime, and Elliot was just beating the living tar out of Wheatley in the elevator. And he was trying to get, I think, Wheatley's address, trying to find out where he lives or whatever. And after the beatdown was over, you could hear... During the beatdown, you could hear Elliot's boss on his cell phone, because she called him wanting to know where he was, because they had got a search warrant for some headquarters, some compound that's connected to Wheatley or whatever. They pretty much saying, look, we got him. Whatever you're doing right now with Wheatley, you need to hurry up, get the hell out of there. You're getting ready to jeopardize. You're getting ready to put yourself in a really bad position. You're getting ready to put me in a bad position. You need to hurry up and get the hell out of there. So the point is, Elliot was looking at Wheatley. He's trying to get the address. He's like, where do you live? Where do you live? And Wheatley just pretty much pointed at Stabler and pointed to his head, letting him know, I'm inside your head, right? And so that's how Seth Rollins has been coming at Roman these past couple of weeks. When you stop and think about it, right to the point, you look at how things were playing out tonight. He got Rollins just laughing his ass off as he's getting the living shit kicked out of him, and he just can't help but fucking laugh his ass off. I ate that shit up. I loved it. Final moments of this one: Roman hitting that trademark pose. Decided he wanted to try to go for a freaking spear. As he went for that spear, Rollins pretty much caught him midair, pretty much used his momentum midair, and was looking for a freaking pedigree there. It was a nice freaking counter. It was a nice modified pedigree. Only had got him a 2 count. Rollins then tries to, stomp his foot on the ground and everything. You're going, okay, maybe he's getting ready to try to go for another curb stomp here. Have to see what happens here. It's a great sequence of strikes, reversals and all of that. Reigns manages to lock in a guillotine choke, and I mean, he is just torquing that bad boy like a mofo. He is torquing it, and he is putting some serious mustard on that guillotine choke. And Rollins is just, for his dear life, he is trying to figure out a way to maneuver to the ropes and everything. It didn't look to me as if Rollins was going to get there. It really didn't. And the final moments, we see Rollins reaching for the ropes, and it looks as though he just passes out. So you're going, okay, you're going, either Rollins is going to pass out or he's going to tap out. Okay, it looks like he's passed out. Okay, so this is definitely over. Ref goes in to check on Rollins. We don't even get the, 1 arm drop, 2 arm drops, and then, there's still some life. We pretty much get the 1 arm. It's about to drop, but then Rollins reaches for the ropes, and the referee intervenes. He's telling Roman, you got to get off him. You got to break it because he's on the rope here. You got to break the hold. Charles Robinson, he trying to do his best, man. He tried to do his best. But Roman Reigns was not letting that bad boy go. So Roman pretty much gets the disqualification that way. Roman obviously pretty pissed off with the outcome. He reluctantly releases that hold, grabs a steel chair, and he pretty much does a reenactment of the Shield breakup. If you really stop and think about it, I don't know how many of you guys were really processing it and just how symbolic it was there that Roman had that steel chair and he was going to the body multiple times on Seth Rollins. Remember one of the last things that Roman had said to Seth Rollins in their verbal confrontation on SmackDown? He told him straight up, I hate you. I despise you. I hated you from that day that Seth Rollins betrayed Roman and Dean Ambrose. And it's something that he has never, ever forgiven Rollins on. He's never forgiven him on that. Okay? Now, some of you guys may be saying to yourself, well, wait a minute, Lee. At one point, right before Jon Moxley / Dean Ambrose went to AEW, we had saw one last rodeo there of the Shield. There was a brief little reunion. We eventually saw those guys do a little something and everything. You know what? Well, what the hell? Hey, there's a way. You know the old saying. I'm trying to think of it right now. You got to bear with me because at the time that we're doing this live right now, it's pretty late on the East Coast. But there is that old saying of, hey, you know what? I can forgive, but I'll never forget. So in the case of Roman, he never forgot, but at the same time, he never truly forgave Rollins. He still has some leftover residue from that Shield breakup. And he just went ballistic on Rollins with that steel chair. That was, I don't know how many of you guys really had picked up on that in that steel chair, because I know most people, when they saw that play out tonight, were probably looking at it and going, okay, you know what? This is just more about Roman Reigns just going ballistic. You might have looked at it as him just going crazy, but it was very symbolic, very fucking symbolic what he did right there. Good shit, pretty good shit right there. After Roman's is done going to the body of Rollins, he pretty much makes his leave, laughing his ass off, loves what he did to Rollins. Only thing that was missing, I said this during the live watch along, the only thing that was missing that would have been just a great icing on the cake, personally, I would have loved it if we would have seen Roman Reigns just get this weird vibe after everything is all said and done and he did the vicious beating that he did to Rollins. If we would have just seen Roman just stop at the top of the ramp and just get this weird vibe, just look over his shoulders. If we could have just seen Seth Rollins laying on his side, looking in the direction of Roman, laughing at him, throwing up the fist bump, the Shield fist bump, that just would have been icing on the fucking cake for me personally. That would have been icing on the fucking cake. But all things considered, pretty good. Pretty good. I know that most people, they're not going to like the finish. And if you've been a long time WWE fan, it's kind of one of those. And to George Diaz in the chat saying, I'm catching this review late. Things to do. That title alone shows me you're real. You're not going along with the WWE plan. No, I call it how I see it, my friend. I call it how I see it. And look, I am down. You see, that's why I hate that I'm dealing with the copyright bullshit with the live watch along that we did for Rumble earlier tonight. Because you're able to catch me and you're able to catch the people that's interacting. You're able to catch us all in real time, how we're responding to all of this. And I'm telling you, it's live now, but I don't know how much longer it's going to be public. Because, we're fighting it out with WWE over the watch along. But I definitely would recommend, I'm going to timestamp it, and you guys will easily just be able to go and seek, and you can... But it was crazy when we all were just hanging out in real time during the watch along, and we're just like, what the fuck? Good match. Good finish. I know most people have their mind trained for, especially in the WWE realm. No, there's needs to be this proper finish. We got to close this out. I know most fans are trained like that's how WWE has trained you. But this is one of those things where you're going, obviously this feud is not over, right? There's going to be some type of a bookend that's going to be needed before we go to WrestleMania. All things considered, with Roman Reigns and everything. Good story to this match. I thought it was well thought out. I thought the in-ring work was pretty good as well. A good opener of the matches, looking back on it in retrospect. And again, this is still real time, right? This isn't a case where I've had some time to sleep on it. I've had about an hour. No, because as soon as I saw the stuff I was having there with YouTube, I said, fuck it, we'll go live, damn it. We'll go live again. We'll do another show. Fuck it. I went 4 hours, but fuck it. We'll do another show. What the hell? So that was that. Everything pretty much goes downhill from there. Thanks for watching. No, seriously, the 30-woman Royal Rumble match. Right? Okay, so let's go over the participants for this one. Let's go over your participants for this one. For your women's Royal Rumble, the entrants in this order. Sasha Banks. Melina. Yes, Melina was number 2. Even more the reason why you got to check out the live watch along. You will see yours truly marking out like a mofo over Melina. I've loved me some Melina for a long time. So much so, you sadly cannot see it on the wall. Let's see if you can. Yeah, you guys. Okay. So if you look, let me put my finger up. Okay. So you see where my finger is right here. Where my finger is, that is Caitlyn, former WWE Divas Champion Caitlyn. And actually, right next to Caitlyn, I've got a signed Melina photo right next to her. Signed Melina. I love me some Melina. Seriously, I have been a fan of hers for fucking years, man. Years upon years upon years. And, she's aged pretty damn well, hasn't she? She has. And, I said to folks during the live watch along, I said, if you haven't been keeping tabs on Melina, first of all, you need to be watching NWA, because that's where she's been doing a whole lot of stuff. That's where she's been featured the most. She did a little something recently for Impact Wrestling as well, but meat and potatoes for right now. She's mainly just been tearing it up in the NWA. Right now she's involved in a program with Camille, who's the current NWA Women's Champion, and she's trying to figure out a way to become the #1 contender, because it is her life's mission right now. It's become a obsession, really. What you see that's been playing out with Melina and NWA over the past couple of weeks. She is obsessed with Camille. She is obsessed with taking away the championship from Camille, and she doesn't know how, circumstances surrounding it, but she is fixated on becoming the #1 contender and taking that championship away. So that's what's currently going on with Melina. But yeah, man, I truly, that was one of my, for that woman's Rumble, that truly was my mark out moment. Because I didn't see it coming. I did not see that coming. I just had so many flashbacks. I had so many fond memories of Melina. What I want to think about her time with Eminem, or just thinking about her singles run and her various feuds in the WWE and all that. Just, that's a girl that, it's weird when you think about it, because after WWE, I mean, that pretty much was it for Melina. She almost kind of went off the radar a little bit, if you will. It's kind of weird when you really stop and and think about it. But, you know, she did stuff for NWA here and there. I know she did some stuff for Stardom. She also, I mean, she worked for like various promotions here and there after she pretty much was done in the WWE. But she really, honestly, she slowed down. After she left WWE, she only did some sporadic dates here and there. And it really wasn't until NWA, you know, did she really start, you know, so it's great. And you could tell legitimately that she loved everything that was playing out when she was in the ring there with Sasha Banks. And you could see Sasha was feeling it too, but obviously Sasha's supposed to be the bad guy here. But you could legit see how taken back Melina was over the fact that, you know, the fans, the WWE fans, they did in fact remember her. They did in fact remember her contributions to the WWE. Now look, not for nothing, full transparency. This is St. Louis we're talking. NWA was in St. Louis not that long ago. They were in St. Louis, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, they were in St. Louis for, if I'm not mistaken, for NWA Empower, their all-women pay-per-view. And the day after that, NWA 73rd anniversary pay-per-view, right? So St. Louis, pretty smart wrestling crowd, but when you're doing it at a much bigger venue here, right? It's like, okay, that's a nice snapshot. You know, we're talking NWA. You know, they're still kind of small scale, but now that we're taking it to a much bigger scale, right? Yeah, and you could tell Melina really did appreciate all of that was coming in for her, that she was really soaking it all in, and she should fucking soak it all in. Other entrants, Tamina, I'm going in the order in which they had came. Tamina, Kelly Kelly, Aaliyah, Liv Morgan, Queen Zelina, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Natalya, Cameron, right? The same Cameron when Stone Cold Steve Austin was saying to her, "Tell us, Stone Cold Steve Austin, who was some of your favorite matches when you were growing up? What was some of the I want to know, what were some of the matches that you were watching that made you decide you wanted to be a WWE fan for life? What were the matches that made you say, well, goddamn, I gotta be a wrestler. I gotta go out there and do it just like them. I gotta put on a pair of boots. What? I gotta put on a pair of boots. What? I gotta put on an attire. What? I gotta get in the ring. What? I gotta throw it down. What? I gotta lock it up. What? Tell old Stone Cold." Remember the match that she gave? And Stone Cold was so fucking pissed off on her. I know you guys remember that. The infamous Tough Enough episode. So fucking pissed off that George Wilson, buddy, your ears are so sensitive right now, and not for nothing. It is 2:10 in the morning on the East Coast. I literally did 4+ hours of a live watch along, and I immediately followed up by doing this live show right now. Not for you, because you're not a long-time listener. That's obvious based on the comment that you just left. But I'm doing this because I respect my listeners. I'm mainly doing this for my subscribers because I don't want them feeling left out in the cold when they're not able to see the live watch along, assuming that there's going to be some issues. I don't know. But dude, if you're tripping over that, man, you definitely would not have liked the watch along, let me tell you, because I was eating food, I was getting my drink on, I was having me a nice big ass plate of dinner that my wife had made. Brother, if your ears are that sensitive, you just need to unplug right now and go check somebody else out, because I don't claim to be a professional. I do not claim to be a professional. That's the one thing that I always give here on this show that longtime listeners know about. I give it to you raw. How I talk to you guys right now, same way I talk on social media. If you were to meet me in person, that's what you're going to get. A lot of people put up a fucking bullshit facade, put up a really good game, social media game, but then when it comes time to see them in person, all of a sudden it's a 180. It's a 180. I don't roll like that. Okay? Don't claim to be a professional. This ain't no Sports Center. This ain't no fucking ESPN. Okay? You think I'm bad? You know, I'll tell you guys, because I know some of you guys are not reading the comments. So we had a guy that was basically tripping over the fact that we don't need to hear you swallowing before you speak. No disrespect meant. First of all, why do we kick things off by saying no disrespect meant when in fact we do mean disrespect? Can we just stop beating around the bush? I don't mean to insult you, but come on. Seriously. So, yeah, I ain't got time for that shit. I'm glad I didn't have my alcohol tonight, because originally I was supposed to have alcohol. You think me swallowing is bad? Oh my God. So I guess what I should do every single time I need to do a little something, I guess catch a little bit of air and all of that. So I guess I gotta fucking time like that. I literally hit the mute button on purpose. I guess I got it. Is that better? Oh my God. The last thing you want is an amped up Lee at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. Come on, people. This is supposed to be about the post show. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. All right. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Anyway, we were going over the number of the entrants for the Royal Rumble. Can we get through this list? Sasha Banks, Melina, Tamina, Kelly, Aaliyah, Liv Morgan, Queen Zelina, Bianca Belair, Dana Brooke, Michelle McCool, Sonya Deville, Natalya, Cameron, the same Cameron that we just talked about a couple of minutes ago before we got sidetracked by, don't mean any disrespect, but I do mean disrespect. That Cameron. This is the same Cameron that decided she was going to make an appearance in AEW. Remember that? And remember how she pretty much was taking her nice little digs at WWE when she finally was over there in WWE? Oh man, Cameron acted as if she was on a whole new level in AEW. Cameron was acting as if she had found money and success and all kinds of lovely, nice little things that was happening for her over there in AEW. Cameron was acting as though WWE messed up so bad because here in AEW, she's about to become a multi-time women's champion. She's going to maybe be a TBS champion. She's going to be doing all kinds of nice shit over there in AEW. And when it's all said and done, what did Cameron have to show for after she left WWE? I'll wait. It's 2 a.m. I'm drinking tea. Fuck y'all that don't appreciate me swallowing and all that other shit. Fuck y'all. God damn it. I'll swallow what the fuck I want to swallow. God damn it. Fuck you. Motherfucker. Anyway, when that's all said and done, look at her tenure after WWE. Look at what she had did with Anna Jay and Tay Conti. Y'all remember that? Do y'all remember that moment for AEW fans? Do you remember that? When she teamed up with Nyla Rose and they took on Anna Jay and Tay Conti? It was on a July episode of... what was it? I think it was Dynamite, if I remember it correctly. I believe it was on Dynamite 2020. After that, you thought maybe we were going to see her on AEW Dark or Dark Elevation, or maybe we'd eventually see her on a few more episodes of Dynamite. Hell, maybe we'll see her on that new show called Rampage. No, that was pretty much the only thing that she did, and we haven't seen anything of her since. And yet, here she was in the Rumble. Took me by surprise. I was happy to see her. I legit was happy to see her. Because she looked pretty cute. She looked pretty good in her nice little purple attire for tonight. I was actually feeling that. She was pretty good. Rounding off the list for your Royal Rumble participants. Oh, fuck. I fucking got my list. There we are. Rhea Ripley, Charlotte Flair, Ivory. Ivory showed up as Rights to Censor Ivory, and she got eliminated so fast. I don't know who was booking that shit. Her coming out as Rights to Censor Ivory was just... I mean, if you're about the nostalgia factor, I get it. If you're all about the nostalgia factor, I get it, but that just sucked. I don't even think Homegirl made it 20 seconds. I'm talking about Ivory. I don't even think she made it 20 seconds when she had returned. Brie Bella, Mickie James, Alicia Fox, Nikki Ash, Summer Rae, Nikki Bella, Sarah Logan, Lita, Molly Holly, coming in at number 28, Ronda Rousey, Shotzi Blackheart, and rounding off the entrance, Shayna Baszler making her return. Of course, as soon as you see Ronda Rousey show up, you're going, it's over. It's pretty much over. But before you even got to that point, you're going, okay, well, maybe Liv Morgan. Maybe it's all about Liv Morgan. Maybe she's going to be the one that is going to win this whole thing. Because you noticed at a couple of points during this Rumble matchup, commentators were going, hey, look at Liv. She's been in this now for, what was it they said at one point? They said she was in there for 30 minutes plus, which was, at that time, she was the longest entrant. Originally, it was Aaliyah, but we saw Aaliyah get taken out by Charlotte Flair eventually. But you're looking at Liv Morgan in there, and you're going, well, Liv Morgan is probably the one that's going to get this. If not Liv Morgan, maybe Bianca Belair. Maybe Bianca Belair is going to be the one that'll get this. But, man, by the time we saw that Ronda Rousey was in this, you just knew this pretty much was over. You just knew that. And for me, for what it was worth, it was nice seeing, again, Melina. Was great seeing Ivory. Alicia Fox was the one that really surprised the hell out of me. I was not expecting her at all to appear, so that was nice. WWE fucked this up, though. They fucked this up on so many levels, though, because Mickie James particularly. So let me see if I got this straight. I'm getting ready to swallow again. Oh my God, swallow alert, swallow alert. I'm getting ready to slurp on some tea. Oh my God, I'm going to be annoying the hell out of folks. See, it's not intentional. You know, it's not intentional. This is just a very powerful microphone. You're not hearing all the beautiful sounds and editing and mixing that I do afterwards. You're pretty much hearing nice, good, loud, booming. And Lord only knows, I mean, if you got headphones on, you tripping over another dude, swallowing and all that other good stuff, something wrong, man. I need to know what you got for hearing, because I'm almost about to push a goddamn hearing aid at the rate I'm going. Seriously, hook a brother up. That's some keen ass fucking hearing. God, I hope you don't hear when I pass gas. I usually be letting out little quiet silencers that don't make any noises whatsoever. I mean, anyway, see, sometimes you gotta know when I'm being a dick and when I'm having fun with you. And if you can't tell the two, always ask me. I'll always tell you, I'm picking on, who was that said that earlier? I'm picking on George. George probably ran off though and said, oh man, I think I hurt his feelings. Nah, you just gave me something to latch on to and make you be a butting end of a joke or two or three for the next several minutes. So all love, brother, all love. But anyway, Let me see if I got this straight. Mickie James, your Impact Knockouts champion. Mickie James, the same Mickie James that's tearing it up over there in the NWA. Mickie James, the same Mickie James that had a pretty well-received Texas death match against Deonna Purrazzo at Hard Times 2. We don't think it would make any sense to have Mickie James somehow make it to maybe the Final Four to give off the impression that, oh my God, is it even possible that an outsider, someone not currently under the WWE umbrella, could win the Royal Rumble? Is it even remotely possible to fathom that idea? WWE was in a really good position right here where they could have gone in that direction, and they did not do that. Instead, they had freaking Mickie James. I'm looking at when she was eliminated here. I've got Mickie James. It looks like she was the 18th person to be eliminated in this. And she was eliminated by Lita. And yet they had Lita continue to go on. Lita ended up being the 25th person to be eliminated later on during this bout by Charlotte Flair. I just couldn't. I appreciate WWE on the one hand going, hey, we want to make Lita look pretty strong. We want her to go, especially with what we've been doing with her in recent weeks. We've had her cross paths with Charlotte Flair. Yeah, let's have her. I appreciate that. But, man, you had something right there with Mickie James that was staring at you right in the fucking face. You blew it. You blew it. You missed it. You also missed on a great opportunity where you could have had Lita and Mickie James, all the great feuds that they used to have with one another. You missed out on a really good opportunity to have a great stare down between the two. Try to have those St. Louis fans, try to have Cole in the gang, resell that. Oh man, this brings back so many memories, doesn't it? Yeah, how about blah 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 blah, or what about blah 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 blah? We didn't even do any of that shit. This was just, for me, there was just so many spots in this where it was just poorly, head scratching, disorganized. I couldn't believe that there were no NXT girls that were in this. I was looking for Raquel Gonzalez, and I had double checked while this Rumble was in action just to see if there was, maybe I missed it. Maybe Raquel Gonzalez had appeared at a previous Rumble and I fucking blanked out. From what I was able to research the past couple of Rumbles, there was no Raquel Gonzalez, unless she was under a different name. There was no Raquel Gonzalez. I thought they had missed out right there to really, because after all, the way that they're building up NXT 2.0 right now, they're building it up in a way where they're saying it's all about the stars of tomorrow. It's all about these men and women that are going to be the next wave of superstars for the WWE in the years to come. Okay, cool. You're getting these men and women pretty much ready for the prime times and all of that. You're going back to your roots and everything. Okay, I'm down with that. Cool. No appearance by Raquel Gonzalez. No appearance by maybe a Dakota Kai. No appearance by the NXT Women's Champion, Mandy Rose. It's just head scratching. I like the spot with Nikki Ash beating the crap out of Molly Holly. That was hilarious. And she was saying to Molly Holly, there can be only one superhero. You're not a real super. I like that. I did like that spot. Hopefully we can see something manifest from it in the very near future. Your guess is as good as mine. Sonya Deville being in there. Okay, now that was funny. That actually was funny because she didn't take the jacket off until she saw Cameron in there, and she's picking the brain of the color commentators trying to find out, oh, so Cameron and Naomi are friends, huh? They're friends, right? And then she decides to take off the jacket after a few entrants have already come in, and she goes, okay, let me go ahead and hurry up and knock this bitch out. I'm just going to get her out. And sure enough, she did. Next thing you know, Naomi comes out. Naomi, Sonya going at it. But, you know, here's the thing, though, with these Royal Rumble matches that's so fucking irritating and so goddamn annoying is we see Sonya Deville get eliminated rather quickly by Naomi. But then later on, Naomi gets eliminated. She was the 11th, Naomi was the 11th elimination by Sonya Deville. And you're going, wait a minute, what? Because Naomi was on the outside of the ring. She was standing up on the apron. And then next thing you know, Sonya Deville just pretty much yanks Naomi's ankles. Naomi falls right down to the fucking canvas there. And you're going, how the fuck does that count? You should be eliminated by somebody that's an actual participant in the, unless you're trying to tell me that's a loophole. And that is a great loophole for exploitation. That's just something, because we've seen that time and time again over the years in Rumbles. And that's just something that I've just, to this day, never been able to wrap my brain around. It's still fucking annoying to this very day. You know, I understood what they were trying to do. They were trying to more go down the rabbit hole here of this feud between Sonya and Naomi, but I just couldn't help but scratch my head and look at that and go, WTF, man, seriously, WTF. Let's see, Summer Rae pretty much went out of there quickly. Sarah Logan really getting hardly any reaction from the crowd. Honestly, no bullshit. I thought it was Max the Impaler without her makeup when I first saw her. I bullshit you not. If you know your women's wrestling and you know about Max the Impaler, especially you longtime listeners, shout out to you guys. Y'all know how much of a big fan I am of Max the Impaler. Yo, do a side-by-side comparison. Y'all, tell me that did not look like Max the Impaler originally. I was going, shit, Max the Impaler, oh fuck. And then they were like, Sarah Logan. I'm going, are we sure that's Sarah Logan? Because that actually looks like Max the Impaler. Yeah. Nah. So Ronda Rousey winning the Royal Rumble. Look, I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. I got no problem with that whatsoever. Great to see Ronda back. She seems to be in great freaking shape. Hey, if she was pregnant at some point, you don't know nothing about it because she's got that body nice and tight and banging. She's in phenomenal shape. She's kicking ass, man. She is fucking kicking ass. So good for her. I'm okay. I'm okay with freaking Ronda Rousey winning this. I know a lot of you guys had pointed this out and we're saying Ronda's going to win this because y'all were hearing stuff. You know, we're hearing stuff. It just got to a point. Listeners were always asking me on a monthly basis for a couple of years, Lee, do you see Ronda Rousey coming back at this pay-per-view? Hey, Lee, what if Ronda Rousey was able to come in like this? Or what if Ronda Rousey was able to come in like that? And I would always say, yeah, that's a pretty good idea. You know, yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it plays out. Look, this is great for the women's division overall. You're not going to find me shitting on Ronda Rousey. This was a team effort, what we saw that had played out tonight. Everybody had their own roles to play. For the little bit of offense that we saw of Ronda tonight, she picked up some new tricks. I'll definitely give her that. There was some stuff that she did that made me say, oh, that was quite impressive. Okay, I like that. Okay. Oh, nice. Okay. But she seems a little bit... If I had to compare what we saw of her tonight to when we first saw her wrestle in the WWE, definitely night and day. But this go round, it just feels as though she needs a little bit more. Give her about 3 months tops. 3 months tops. It seemed like she was off to almost a cold start tonight. Just a little bit of offense that I saw of her. I won't say it was bad, but it just seemed, I can't quite put my fingers on it. Maybe some of you guys could better phrase it than I can, because I wish I could just, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't really know how to phrase it. But yeah. So I'm all down for that. If you guys been enjoying yourself so far, you haven't done so already, do me a huge favor and make sure you hit that like button. When you do that, you really help spread the good word about the content. You help it get more out there to a wider audience, especially via YouTube. So do that, and thanks. Feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. When you hit that subscribe, you're definitely showing your ultimate love, letting me know to keep coming at you with more content just like this. So coming down to Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair at the end, that was pretty badass. I like how Bianca was in the mix in there as well. But down to Charlotte, Ronda pretty much did a stare down at each other. They start going at it. I mean, within seconds, Rousey just freaking managed to outmaneuver Charlotte, get her ass out of the ring and everything. So, yeah, fairly decent it was decent. I gave that Rumble match, I gave it an overall 6 out of 10. We had some nice moments in there with, the Litas, the Mickie James, but I can't ignore some of the bookings with the fucking Bellas and the Bellas coming out there. We got the Bellas getting eliminations over key girls and shit. It was just looking downright fucking comical and just WTF stupid at many points during this Rumble match. So 6 out of 10. Can't go any higher, can't go any less. Moving along, the Raw Women's Championship match. Becky Lynch taking on Doudrop. I had this match, and I still got to go back and listen to the live watch along, but I had this at about 16 minutes. So everybody's going 13, but I remember when I hit the stopwatch. I always hit the stopwatch as soon as the bell rings. I could have sworn I had mine at 16 minutes and something. But a few of y'all are like, nah, it was about 13 and change. So I still got to double check that. Regardless, though, 16 minutes or 13 minutes, this match was way too fucking long. Tell you that straight up. This match was way too fucking long. Way too fucking long. I did not really pick up good synergy. There really wasn't good energy, good chemistry between both of these girls in this matchup. I personally felt the psychology was a little bit off in this match as well. To my point, I remember at one juncture in the match, something had happened with Doudrop's leg, and I thought for sure Becky Lynch was going to home in on that. She was just going to go belligerent, and she was just going to do her very best to try to take away the leg strength of Doudrop. But then I started thinking to myself, well, Doudrop's got some pretty strong, thick legs there, man. Maybe it would actually make more sense to, on top of the legs, maybe also home in on the arm as well. I was basically expecting some type of smell blood wolf pack mentality coming from Becky Lynch. And it kind of seemed like at some point, you guys that saw this match, you know exactly the key points that I'm talking about that played out during this match. And I thought for sure we were going to get to see that. But it did not play out that way. And it just seemed as though this match never really went to that next level. It just stayed, okay, accelerate. They teach you that when you're in driving school. They go, when you're trying to get ready to merge on to oncoming traffic, when you're on a freeway or whatever, they say, okay, accelerate. What are you doing? Don't slow down. No, don't try to come to a complete stop. Accelerate. You got to keep up with the flow of the traffic that's going all around you and everything. Accelerate. And I was just looking for this match to accelerate, and it never did. Look, I think Doudrop has had better matches since she has been on the main roster, but I personally did not care for this match whatsoever. I don't know about you guys, but that's just where I stood. That's just where I personally stood on this one. Wasn't really good. Wasn't really good as far as I was concerned. I'm sticking to a 5 out of 10 for this matchup. A 5 out of 10 for this matchup is what I'm giving it. Won't go any higher. I definitely am not gonna go any lower. Can't go any lower, can't go any higher. It is what it is. I couldn't wait for this match to be over with. You know it's bad when you see some of the fans in attendance that are getting up during this match and they're walking away. Now, look, might have not happened in droves, but there was definitely... Go back and watch this match. You notice quite a few fans were getting up. Who knows what? Maybe they were going to go use the bathroom, go hit the merchandise stands. Who knows? But it fucking sucks. And it was weird because I felt bad, particularly for Doudrop, because I know at one point, some people during the live watch along, they were starting to make fun of Doudrop's weight. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, why are we even going that route? Come on, we're supposed to be better than that. I'm a big dude, so I got nothing but love for big girls. Of course, I'm always going to show love for fellow big people. So, like, you're not going to find me bashing. You're not going to find me bashing a big person. So I'm thinking, and besides, like, okay, she's big, so what? That doesn't mean anything. She's cute. She's very cute. I find her attractive, to each its own, but I find her attractive. Ain't nothing wrong with a big girl. So, I don't know. Like, I'm not going to knock somebody because of their looks. I'd rather criticize somebody for what they're doing in the ring and all of that if it ain't clicking for me and all of that. I'd rather go in that direction. But this was too damn long. Suffered greatly. The crowd felt pretty dead in this. Obviously, they were stretching this out for whatever it was worth to try to kill a little bit of time and everything. But nah, this honestly should have been. And it's funny too because during the live watch along, I said there's no way this match should be going past 5 minutes. And then at one point we hit the 3-minute 46-second mark. I'm going, okay, well, there's no way it should go past 5 minutes. And then sure enough, we went past 5 minutes. Well, okay, we're going into some uncharted territory here. And we never did accelerate in this match. So, yeah. Fourth matchup, WWE title match. Brock Lesnar defending his championship against Bobby Lashley. By the way, I got to pull up the chat room because my phone had died. So give me a second here. All right, I'm back up now. Okay, I can see you guys in the chat here. I see you guys in the chat here. Shout out to Jake in the chat right now, by the way. Don't think I'm ignoring you guys' comments, by the way. I'm looking at them. I've got no notes. All I've got are the fucking matches. That's it. And I'm just running off the top of my head. So don't think I'm ignoring you. My brain is just, I'm spitting it out. So it's amazing that at 2:40 in the morning, I'm able to spit this shit out still, all things considered, because I should be pretty fucking tired right now, but I'm not. Maybe it's because of the tea, or maybe I'm still pretty high off what I witnessed, even though it was pretty lackluster. I don't know. You guys tell me. But shout out to Jake, because Jake actually lives in St. Louis. And he said the following, on top of being in St. Louis: alongside not wanting to catch the traveling wrestling fan variant of COVID, I also just am bored of WWE. I was thinking of getting my wife and I tickets, but skipped out. I made the right call. There you go. Somebody from St. Louis calling it as they personally saw it. You guys agree with what Jake said, or do you disagree? Let Jake and me know in the chats. in the chat section. Or if you're going to be watching this on demand, comment below. Let us know. Let's go to this next match here. I got to take a sip, man. Little drippy drip drip. All right. That's my tea drip game. I got that fine ass drip game. I got that drip game going on. All right, let's go to our next matchup. Brock Lesnar. And this is very good tea. I got cinnamon tea tonight. Cinnamon tea. Brock Lesnar and Bobby Lashley for the championship. Let's go here. I actually enjoyed this match. Couldn't go any higher. I gave this one a 7 out of 10 when it was all said and done. I love how this match pretty much had began with a lockup. These guys were just locking up and they kept hitting stalemates. And you're going, okay, okay. And by the way, the video package that they played for this, you guys got to forgive me, but if that video package had already aired earlier in the week on WWE programming, I don't know anything about it. The video package that they aired tonight for both of these guys, I fucking loved it. I fucking loved it. I love that they were playing up to their strengths, their amateur wrestling backgrounds, their accomplishments in the MMA world. I was loving all of that. And forgive me if I am a fool. If you want to play Steve Perry's Foolish Heart, you want to say that's my theme song right now? Okay, fine. I'll be that Foolish Heart. But they had me so amped up, yo. I thought with everything I was seeing, everything that had been playing out on WWE program in the past couple of weeks, Foolish Heart in me, I thought we were going to be getting freaking Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley. Oh shit, man. We about to go down. We about to go down and get gritty here. We about to go down and get dirty. We about to go in here. We about to do some serious chain wrestling here. And when these guys are first doing their thing with the lockups and all, and they keep hitting stalemates, you're going, oh, this might be one of those magical type of matches, yo. This might be something really special here. Yo, we got to peep this out. And then we just start exchanging German suplexes after German suplexes. I remember Lashley at one point hits not one spear, but 2 spears. When he hit the second spear, Brock Lesnar immediately goes out of the ring. So Lashley had an opportunity to cover Lesnar on that first spear, but he didn't. Instead, he just wanted to wait it out, get in the second spear, and okay, so now you're paying for it. Lashley goes outside the ring, gives chase to Lesnar. If I remember correctly, the action found its way going back inside the ring, where somehow Brock Lesnar was now, okay, it's my turn, motherfucker. And he starts doing German suplexes. I remember at one point, it was getting really out of hand, wasn't it? At one point, Brock Lesnar did 4 German suplexes. They weren't consecutively. The way he was doing the German suplexes, he pretty much was, and 1. I mean, he was going DJ Khaled, and 1, and 2. I mean, he pretty much was going at it just like that. Then he picks up Bobby Lashley. He tries to put him in a F5. And if I remember correctly, the referee gets bumped out. Yeah. If I remember correctly, the referee gets bumped out. And then that's where the fuckery had. No. There was a F5 attempt, but I think Lashley ended up getting out of it and then putting on the Hurt Lock. And he had that Hurt Lock on, and man, you got to see my reactions during the live watch along, because I was just tap, baby, tap, 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 baby, tap, tap, tap. And Lesnar's face was turning beet fucking red. I was loving it. Beet fucking red. Next thing you know, while that Hurt Lock was being applied, somehow the referee gets bumped. I'm trying to remember how the referee got bumped. Yeah. Somehow during that hurt lock, the referee gets bumped. And then Brock Lesnar finally gets out of it, and he tries going for the F5, and the referee takes another bump. So you're going, okay, obviously there's some type of weird fuckery that's going to go down here. And as I had alluded to on the shows earlier this week, I said this match is either going to play out a couple of ways. I offer predictions. You could hear the predictions on Wednesday's show. I said there's going to be some type of fuckery perhaps. Whether or not it's going to come from Paul Heyman or it's going to come from MVP, that remains to be seen. All we know is that the Usos are banned from ringside. Well, little did we know, yeah, there definitely was going to be some type of interference here, but it wasn't going to be from any of those guys. It was going to be from the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. So Roman Reigns makes his presence felt in this bad boy. And Roman Reigns does this vicious ass run in, spears the living hell out of Brock Lesnar, lays him out cold. Roman's now looking at Paul Heyman. He's got this look on his face as if, you know what's up, you know what you need to do. And remember what I kept saying to you guys off and on the past couple of weeks, even as early as Wednesday. I said, remember what Paul Heyman said to Roman Reigns and Brock there when they were having that little trifecta a couple of weeks back on SmackDown. He said to Roman, how could you, something that Roman said to Heyman, and Heyman said something along the lines of, how could you say that to me? After everything that I've done for you, after everything I meant to you, your family, you know, I freaking loved you. And you're like, okay, so we're really getting deep down here. Okay, I wonder if maybe Roman's going to somehow put Heyman in that position of, okay, you say you love me. Okay, prove it. And here was that moment right here where Roman is looking at Paul Heyman pretty much, okay, so what's up? What you gonna do? What's up? And he sticks his hand out, does Roman. Heyman puts the WWE Championship in Roman's hands, and that pretty much had sealed the fate of Brock Lesnar as Brock gets up, wham, belt shot to the temple. Roman leaves the ring with a smug look on his face, jubilant over what happened. Heyman leaves, wiping off his hands as if he's wiping his hands clean of any of these shenanigans and anything that is associated with Brock Lesnar, as Bobby goes for the cover. 1, 2, and a freaking 3. So what was this match really about? Well, I tell you what, you really felt that you were getting ready to watch something special here until they were just starting to trade off on the fucking German suplexes and finishers. And then we had the fuckery. It was really the fuck finish that is really going to be the most talked about of this match, sadly, because this match had the beginning ingredients of being something special until it pretty much just went the typical bullshit route. And it's kind of sad because we know Brock is capable of, but for the whatever respective reasons, Brock just wants to go in there and really do as little as possible, basically. He just, hey, whatever, man, it's all good. But this was more about the Roman Reigns effect and setting up his path and his path and Brock's path going into WrestleMania. That's what this pretty much was all about. Agree? Disagree? Sound off. Intergender match, tag team, Edge, Beth Phoenix taking on Miz and Maryse. Look, we already know what's going on with Edge and Miz. We've seen these guys lock up a few times. This was really about, all right, we got the women factor that's in this now, right? We got some women that's thrown into the mix. We get to see what's going on here with the ladies, okay? And you had some nice little spots here with the ladies. I gotta say, the DDT it was a nice inverted DDT that Maryse was able to plant Beth Phoenix with, and then a nice hurricanrana to Edge Maryse was able to do from the top rope. I mean, the hang time, as far as Maryse's legs being tangled up there on Edge, trying to do that hurricanrana, when you just play it back in real time, it felt like an eternity, because you're going, oh, well, watch out now, what we doing here? All right. You know, you're like, okay, yay, Maryse. So it had some nice little spots. But if I got to be honest with you guys, it felt like it did not feel like a pay-per-view match. It felt, matter of fact, correct me if I'm wrong, guys. No, I said that the Doudrop Becky Lynch match was a Sunday Night Heat match. Well, if that was a Sunday Night Heat match, then I'll say maybe this was kind of more like a velocity match, basically. Yeah, it was all right. It was all right. It was a nice little tag match for what it was worth. Look, we can all be in agreement. Was it better than Doudrop versus Becky Lynch? Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. If I had to choose one match, if you'd ask me straight up right now, and you could ask me the next day, you could ask me a week later, Lee, if you had to take one match off of Royal Rumble, which match would you take off? Oh, without a doubt, I would take off Doudrop Becky Lynch. Without a doubt. This tag match was better than Doudrop versus Becky Lynch. I will definitely say that. It was a nice little match. It was nice to see Edge and Beth, you know, real life married couple, beating up another real life married couple. Sometimes you don't need no weird twists and turns. You don't always need a fuck finish. Sometimes you can just have it just be as simple as what they had laid out here in this tag match, honestly. It was nice seeing Edge and Beth both get in a double glam slam to their respective opponents to pretty much nip this in the bud. And if you're keeping track at home, Miz and Maryse are now 0-3 as a mixed tag couple. So how about that? You want to do some fun trivia on somebody? Remember these couples that they've lost to now. They've lost to Daniel Bryan / Bryan Danielson, Brie Bella. They've also lost to Nikki Bella and John Cena, and now they've lost to Edge and Beth Phoenix. So how much longer are we going to keep dusting this off before, I don't know, maybe we have Maryse say we're 0-3. We're not really a good tag team. You may think we are, Miz, but you know, it's really obvious. I have no business being in the ring. We're not getting the wins when it counts the most. So don't call me again to help you out with your mess. Are we maybe going to somehow see something along those lines? Or because they're 0-3 now. They are 0-3 now. What is next? Seriously, what other couples could Miz and Maryse tag up and take on next? Seriously, in the WWE universe, what more could they do? We can forget about Nick Aldis and Mickie James. That is never going to happen. Not as long as Bruce Pritchard is in there. That's never going to happen. So you can pretty much forget that. What are we going to do? What y'all thinking about dusting off Undertaker and have him do something with Michelle McCool? Nah, that, I'll tell you, that ain't happening. That ain't no way Taker is going to waste his retirements. Nah, he ain't doing that. You can forget that right now. So, yeah, it was a nice little match for what it was worth. Men's Royal Rumble. We're not doing too bad. We're about an hour 19. So, yeah, I feel kind of bad that we're going almost 90 minutes, but fuck it. We're good. What did I say? No reason for it to be a 2-hour show. So, we're okay. These were your participants for the Men's Royal Rumble. Let's see here. AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Austin Theory, Robert Roode, Ridge Holland, Montez Ford, Damian Priest, Sami Zayn, Johnny Knoxville, Angelo Dawkins, Omos, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio. Let me pause for a second. Those of you that's been with me all this time, you notice how when it came to that women's Rumble, no Bayley. No Bayley, right? You remember that, right? No Bayley. No Alexa Bliss. Yeah, just remember that. Johnny Knoxville, Angelo Dawkins, Omos, Ricochet, Chad Gable, Dominic Mysterio, Happy Corbin, Dolph Ziggler, Sheamus, Rick Boogs, Madcap Moss, Riddle, Drew McIntyre, Kevin Owens, Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, Otis, Big E, Bad Bunny, Shane McMahon, St. Louis's own Randy Orton. And at number 30, Brock Lesnar. So, what was kind of, that's a little disappointing. As far as your nostalgia act, that pretty much was Shane McMahon. Shane McMahon was pretty much your, if you really stop and think about it, he was your nostalgia act. Because he pretty much represents that attitude era and all that good stuff, right? So, as opposed to the women's, I mean, they had nice, good little platter of legends, right? Just imagine if they would have had Trish Stratus in there. Ooh, man, that would have been banging. But one thing that I had mentioned on the live hangout watch along there, it was pretty obvious that when you were looking at the men's Rumble, how, okay, take away your Drews, take away your Ortons, take away your AJs, take away your Sheamuses even, take away the Rey Mysterios, just strip those guys, just take them out. Okay, man, WWE is still struggling here to build up that next generation of guys that is going to be the face of the company for many years to come. I mean, damn, they couldn't even dust off Kane. Now that I'm thinking about it, just on a side note, they couldn't even dust off Kane. I'm still tripping over that. You couldn't dust off Kane to make an appearance in the Rumble just so you could save him for Omos. I thought that was just kind of what the fuck, because when you think about who had the most eliminations in this bad boy, the most eliminations goes to AJ Styles, who had 6 eliminations. Coming in at second place was Brock Lesnar. And the way that they had Omos booked in this, Omos was the 8th person to get eliminated in the Rumble, and he came in at number 11. And all he had to show for was 3 eliminations. I wasn't particularly fond of the way that they had booked Omos. I felt, if anything, let Omos stick around just long enough to have him collide with fucking Brock Lesnar. If any mountain of a man has a chance of fucking, the honors honestly should have gone to Brock Lesnar, and at least you could have made a nice way to kind of properly build up somebody. Like, remember, was it last year, guys, that we had the Royal Rumble where Keith Lee had came out, and the way Brock Lesnar sold that fucking moment with his facial expressions, he said, you could literally read his mouth, and he was saying, oh shit, who's this boy? Who the hell is this? Oh shit, yeah. Hey, come on, big boy. Yeah, I want some. They missed a moment right here where they literally could have done that with Omos and Brock Lesnar. And that for me was just so freaking nerve-wracking on so many goddamn levels. It really, really was. So they botched that. They messed that one up. Another thing that they messed up, I personally felt, for me personally, I felt that Austin Theory went out a tiny bit too early. No way in hell was he supposed to be in the final 4. No way in hell was he supposed to be in the final 6. but I felt that he got taken out a little early, as Austin Theory was the 11th person to be eliminated. So, I mean, if you're asking me, honestly, I kind of feel maybe he should have been around 15 or 16 as far as the order of elimination goes, personally. Shinsuke Nakamura went out too fucking early. He was the second person to be eliminated. I just couldn't help but just say, well, what the fuck? Now, look, it felt so good when you were first watching this, because when you were first watching this, you're going, oh shit, AJ Styles and Shinsuke Nakamura are the first two entrants. They're tearing it up. You're going, shit, we got a little bit of New Japan nod. Fuck yeah. Okay. Then we get Austin Theory in there. You're going, okay, we got a little bit of Evolve. Okay, nice. Then we get Robert Roode. And at one point, it's Robert Roode and AJ Styles going head to head. And as soon as you start thinking TNA, the St. Louis crowd is actually chanting fucking TNA. And you're going, fuck yeah. But then that's when the stupid bullshit happens. Just as soon as Robert Roode is in there, he's quickly eliminated. And you're just going, yeah, we're in for some stupid bullshit here. See that right now. We're in for some stupid bullshit. Johnny Knoxville, don't even get me started on that. Bad Bunny, you ain't going to find me saying anything bad about Bad Bunny. I'm doubling down. I'm tripling down. I'm quadrupling down. You're not going to find me saying anything bad about Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny went in there just like he did with his WrestleMania match. That is a celebrity that I legit feel, can tell, and just everything that I've read about him in interviews when he's been talking about his time in the WWE, and from what other wrestlers have been saying about him and working with him and everything. This is a guy that truly respects the hell out of the business. Find me somebody that is talking negative about Bad Bunny. Seriously, find me somebody that is talking negatively about Bad Bunny, because this is the type of wrestling fan that you actually, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what you want to see from these celebrities, that truly, when they say, oh yeah, I'm a fan, I watch the product all the time, blah 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 blah, and when it comes time for them to fucking prove it, they're a deer in fucking headlights. Bad Bunny actually goes in there and fucking walks the walk. He talks the talk. This has to be one of the very few celebrities that respects the business so much so that he's trying to do right by it and insists on being properly trained and knowing what all he's supposed to do and everything. I thought his spots in there tonight were pretty crisp for everything that was expected of him to do in there. You know, some small spots that was in there, but he did phenomenal. From doing the nice setup there for Rey Mysterio to do the 619. Who was that? I think it was a 619 on Happy Corbin. I can't remember offhand. And then when he sold the hell out of the stunner, actually there were two stunners that was pretty good by Kevin Owens. The stunner to Ray Ray sold the fuck out of that. And then I remember when Bad Bunny had took a stunner as well. Bad Bunny he sold that stunner, and the way he bounced off the ropes there, it was kind of one of those, yeah, right, brother? You weren't really sure how to sell that there. It was almost as if he was paying homage. Remember how back in the day, McMahon used to sell those stunners? Oh, if there was anybody at the top of the list that could no-sell the stunners, it was Vince McMahon. And Bad Bunny almost went in that kind of territory, but he still made it look good the way he was selling the stunner. He still made it look pretty good. For all his shit, you know, his shit looked pretty good. But man, I thought for sure Big E was going to go in here and get this. Seriously. I felt that Big E, everybody else, podcasting buddies, everybody else had felt Big E, he's the one that's going to get this. Nice way for WWE to make up to him for when he was the WWE champion for those couple of months, and now it's pretty much going to come back full circle for him let him go to Mania, let him get his revenge against Bobby Lashley. And the way I felt this was going to plan out, as I mentioned on Wednesday's show, I felt that we were going to see Brock Lesnar go to the WWE Chamber event in Saudi Arabia. Somehow it was going to get mapped out over there who would be a contender for whatever championship. But no, we didn't get that. Instead, we got Brock Lesnar, who pretty much comes out there. And it's so funny because I got to find the actual show. But I remember I vividly, flat out mentioned that idea. And I said, I don't know if maybe there's going to be some type of a loophole. But I said I could see some stupid shit come about where Brock Lesnar comes out and he's revealed same night that he loses the championship. But then I wondered if WWE would actually, and sure enough, number 30, fucking, was it number, no, he was 28, wasn't he? Let me go back and look at the list one more time here. I think he was number 30. Number 30, yeah, Brock Lesnar was number 30, coming out there and just pretty much cleaning fucking house. I mean, eliminating Shane McMahon, eliminating Bad Bunny, I'm trying to think who, he eliminated Bad Bunny, he eliminated Shane McMahon, he eliminated Randy Orton, he also eliminated, he also eliminated Riddle. I'm going, what the flying fuck, man? Are you freaking serious? Big E, meanwhile, Big E, he got eliminated by Riddle and Randy Orton. He was the 23rd elimination. So Big E came in there at, let me look here. Looks like he drew number 26, but his order of the elimination, he was the 23rd elimination. Yeah. I know you guys are like, wait, that doesn't kind of make sense. It makes sense when you're keeping track of the order of the elimination. It makes sense. But yeah, that for me, Brock Lesnar, way he was just going in there and just cleaning fucking house. I just, you could literally feel the shock from the crowd. You could feel the air kind of get sucked out of them a little bit as they were processing what they were seeing playing out before their very eyes, and just seeing all of their favorites just one by one just fucking getting eliminated, and they're fucking getting eliminated with ease. And you're saying to yourself, okay, yeah, Brock Lesnar might be coming out at number 30, but let me see if I got this right. Nobody has the common sense to go, oh fuck, it's Brock Lesnar. In story, let's team up, let's gang up on this dude, and let's make sure that he doesn't fucking have a chance of winning this thing, much like when you saw everybody ganging up on Omos earlier. Okay, what, we can't repeat that blueprint again? So that was pretty, yeah, I mean, the crowd was just all in one sitting, happy, stunned, disgruntled, silence. It was just a nice mixture of all of that shit when you were watching those fans in attendance. And I know that was definitely the emotions I was having as I was watching this, as I legit, you gotta watch that watch along, I legit was cursing like a sailor, because I just felt this was just some stupid, typical WWE bullshit. I never felt WWE had abandoned the path of Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns, WrestleMania. I always felt, and I've said it on the shows for months, they're taking the scenic route. It's a long way. Yeah, it's definitely a long route that they're doing, but we're going to get back to that point. And yeah, I never felt they were going away from it. It was just a matter of, okay, how are we going to make all of this come full circle? And that's exactly what they had did here. Honestly, they really, because now I'm even more curious. How are they going to create those extra incentives when it comes to the WWE Chamber? You know, you're doing these pay-per-view events for Saudi Arabia. And, you know, past couple of years, It's a Saudi Arabia event. I don't care for it. I'm just going to skip that. I'm not going to miss anything special. There's nothing monumental that's going to be happening at this. I'm good. I'm fucking good. But then, I think last year's Saudi Arabia joint, they had some twists and turns, and you're going, oh, they started giving you an incentive like, oh, yeah, I do need to watch this after all because I might be missing something here. So yeah, I do need to check this out. So I can't help but wonder, okay, so if you never entertained the idea of, well, no, we'll just have Brock win a joint in Saudi Arabia and his road to WrestleMania will happen that way, and Saudi Arabia fans and fans that'll watch, right? So if you're not going to go that route, then it becomes, okay, so now what? Now what exactly are we going to do? So is it safe to say, I'll have to put this question on you guys, is it safe to say that coming up at WWE Chamber that maybe it's going to be Big E that wins some type of a contendership opportunity in the Chamber to go to WrestleMania and face Big E for the championship? Is that maybe the direction that we're going to be going in now? I mean, because if we're not going in that direction, then I can't help but wonder, so who exactly is going to be Lashley's opponent then at WrestleMania? I mean, we're looking at the current landscape, right? We're thinking specifically about Raw, the Raw brand. And it's pretty obvious Brock, after tonight, make no mistake about it, Brock is gunning for Roman. So that leaves the WWE Championship around the waist of Bobby Lashley free. So does that mean that Big E slides in there? Or is it somebody else that we're not thinking about? But most importantly, is enough time going to be told? Is there enough time to sell that person, build that person up for a match against Lashley at Mania? So, I mean, if you really stop and think about it, if you're not going to go the Big E route, where are you going? Are you going to go... I like the idea. Some people were saying, how about Omos, but way too fucking way. That boy's still green, man. His footwork is coming along and all that, but that boy is still green. Seriously, my man is still green. I mean, you could maybe build up AJ. You got enough, all things considered, with AJ. You got enough to do a nice little turnaround and build up AJ. But if you're not going to do AJ, see, Varna, here's the problem with Drew and Bobby. Drew's on SmackDown. Drew is SmackDown locked. Unless they're going to do something like they did with Rollins. Unless Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville in storyline. Unless you're going to go in that direction. Edge and Bobby Lashley. Okay, I could see that. I could see that. But see, here's the thing. Would fans really be okay with Edge pretty much in another WrestleMania? Ooh, let's stop and think about that. Ooh, so you all do realize if you were to give the nod to Edge taking on Bobby Lashley for the championship, y'all do realize Lashley could just be a placeholder for Edge, right? Really stop and think about that now. Like, because that's a double-edged sword. On the one hand, you're going, ooh, Edge and Lashley, Battle of the Spears, and you're just thinking about the promos and all that. I mean, yeah, that'd be fucking money. But the way Edge looks, quality of his matches, he definitely has a championship run or two left in him. I'm definitely putting that out there. I'm sure many of you guys would agree. So I guess the real question is, are you going to have it come at the hands of Bobby Lashley? Are you guys cool with that? This is the type of stuff we got to be thinking about. Because something else that we got to be thinking about too, you're going to have some of those people out there, they're going to be spinning those racial narratives. WWE doing that racist bullshit again. Oh, look at this. Look at them holding the black man down. Oh, WWE holding minorities down. That ain't me talking. That's just the way some people talk. So that's something that you guys got to be thinking about. That's something that you guys got to be thinking about. I personally would love it if Lashley and Big E would go at it and Big E would just get the fucking title back. I would love to see Big E with a much longer title reign, but what I fear is, will we get much of the same from Big E when he was champion? Because there was just something that was missing with Big E's championship reign. I mean, we all could be in agreement. Lashley's championship reign was more entertaining than Big E's, because Lashley, he had that whole, I am that fighter. I am that, I'm just going to kick everybody's ass and I'm looking good in my suits, but you could tell I can kick a motherfucker's ass. He had MVP as a really good mouthpiece and all of that. Big E, pretty good on the microphone, but there was something missing. And we had so many elements that was in the kitchen for Big E. We had so many. All right, we got this guy feuding with Big E. We got this other guy feuding with Big E. And then we got this other guy feuding with Big E. We had Big E going in all of these goddamn directions, right? You could almost say it was kind of technically a supporting cast. But even though Big E was the top lead, he had the top billing, he was still kind of struggling. Whereas Lashley didn't struggle. Yeah, it's a very interesting dynamic. See, something to think about. It's really something to think about here, because I like what you guys are saying in the chat, and it really could go to Edge and Lashley. It really could go there. It really could, and we got to be prepared as fans. Edge very well could be your next WWE champion. It very well could. Because I seriously, I don't think there's enough time to build up AJ. For AJ and Lashley, I don't think there's enough time. Big E, but it's like, okay, if you're going to do Big E, you might as well just have Bobby retain. And I just have the weirdest feeling Bobby's not going to retain at WrestleMania. If I'm being honest with you guys, I have a feeling he's not going to retain. What I can't figure out is, who's he losing it to? Is he going to lose it to Big E? Or is he maybe going to lose it to Edge? And after tonight, I don't know. I kind of feel as though Goldberg has one match left. Yo. And if I'm not mistaken, there is still unfinished business between Goldberg and Lashley, if I'm not mistaken. I believe there's still unfinished business. Matter of fact, bear with me a second here. Let me look at the last. Let me look at Goldberg's matches real quick. Because I got to see the matches. I think Goldberg and Lashley still got unfinished business. Give me a second here. All right, I'm looking at his matches right now. Yeah, Goldberg's got one match left. So let's see here. No. Well, wait a minute. So you had a WWE Championship match at SummerSlam. Goldberg lost to Bobby Lashley. And if I remember correctly, I'm trying to think now. Yeah, it's coming back to me now. I think SummerSlam was the event where something happened with Goldberg's son Gage. And then you went to wait a minute. Or was it Crown Jewel where Jade got fucked up? Hang on. I said Jade. Cage. Hang on a second. Let's see here. Hang on. See, that's very important. Hang on. Yeah. So the attack went down at SummerSlam. Goldberg got his revenge in Saudi Arabia. So that's I don't know. It ain't going to be Goldberg. It's not going to be Goldberg. Or do you maybe save Goldberg for Edge? Goldberg versus Edge, Battle of the Spears. Something else to think about. There's a couple of many fucking directions that we could be going in on this one, yo. There's a couple of different directions we were going in this one. So, I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to say in regards to Lesnar winning this. Just some final thoughts on this one when it's all said and done. Very predictable. Very fucking predictable. Especially once Brock Lesnar came out. It was pretty fucking obvious. I do like the little bit of a nod that they gave there between Lesnar and Drew when they were going at it. And you're thinking about when Brock and Lesnar were feuding and pretty much when Drew essentially became the man at WrestleMania, slaying the beast. You know, I did like that nice little nod and everything, but other than Bad Bunny pretty much doing his whole thing, yeah, this was just pretty much, this was just pretty much a so-so event, an average event that I probably, out of a scale of 1 to 10, I'm still standing. If you were with me during the live watch along, or you checked it out and you're seeing what I have to say about this, I'm still pretty much there as far as a 6.5 out of 10. A lot of parts were pretty boring, very predictable. Bright spots, honestly, Bad Bunny, Melina, Roman fucking over Brock. Those parts were pretty damn good. Yeah. Oh, Sasha Banks' Sailor Moon attire. I actually dug the fuck out, especially when she ditched the skirt and you're seeing her wrestling tights. You're like, oh, you know, that was kind of nice. But yeah, this. Whew. Hey, let's check out the polls one more time. If you guys haven't voted yet, I got one poll on Twitter at the RCWR show. And we got a poll up on YouTube in the community section. Let's see what you guys are saying one more time. I'll read some of you guys' comments here. Hang on, guys. I need to close that. No, I want to close that. All right, there we go. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. Twitter. 4.5% of you are giving Royal Rumble a thumbs up. 50% are giving it a thumbs down. While 45.5% of you feel that this was the worst Royal Rumble. Okay. Let's go to YouTube. YouTube.com/the RCWR show. And click on the communities tab from there. And you'll see the poll. So go with the one, you don't have to vote on both of them. Just go with the one that you feel the majority are pretty much there. Okay? Just go with the one where you feel the majority, where you're siding with. Just go that way. All right, let's see here. Thumbs up. Great show from top to bottom. 20% of you said that. Thumbs down. That show sucked. Worst Rumble ever. 80% of you are pretty much right there. So let's see what you guys are saying. Oh, fuck yeah. I almost forgot about the Kofi spot. shit. Thank you. Thank you, Varner, for mentioning that. Yeah, that Kofi spot. I laughed my ass off during that damn Kofi spot, man. So Kofi comes out. Let me see if I still got my fucking note on that one too, by the way. Yeah, I do. I still got my note on that one. Let me just refer to it real quick here, because I actually had wrote it down. Where is it? Kofi, Jamaican me crazy, baby. Kofi came in at number 24, and he ended up being the 18th elimination, basically by Kevin Owens. So at some point, him and KO were going at it once Kofi got inside the ring, and something weird happened where they're fighting, and Kofi's now on the outside of the ring, standing on top of the apron, and I guess KO, I don't know, maybe like bounces off the ropes, charges at Kofi or something of that nature, but he just, I mean, his body, Kevin Owens, he just threw his body at fucking Kofi. Kofi just, he takes the brute force of it off the ropes, and you're looking at it and you're going, okay, so looks like Kofi's gonna do some type of weird Spider-Man magical shit. After you have Michael Cole and Pat McAfee, I think, they're hyping up how Kofi has done amazing, spectacular things in previous Royal Rumble. So you're already going, okay, he's going to do something kind of cool here. So there was so much distance between the padded barricade and the fucking ring that when Kofi just fucking gets launched, you're going, oh shit, that's some serious distance. How's Kofi going to pull that off? But most importantly, man, Kofi's going to be on an island all by himself. How's he going to manage to get back into the ring here? What's going to happen here? So Kofi manages to, as he's getting hit off the apron, he manages to twist his body in midair. And it's like, wham, he literally, like a cat, he is clawed on to the barricade. His upper body is. But his feet, you're going, and I'm watching this in real time, I'm going, that motherfucker's feet hit the canvas. Get the fuck out of here. He's eliminated. And you've got the fucking first row of people. And it was kind of hilarious, too, because you can see the one ref. The one ref is kind of going, I didn't see this. And you got like about 7 fucking fans in the front row. Nah, he's eliminated. His fucking feet, he's eliminated. And you got Kofi trying to, he's trying to play it off like he's still in the game. And then you got the one referee, and I guess this referee was smart. This fucking referee was smart. This referee, I guess he assessed the situation and was like, yo, we got 7 motherfuckers right here. Lord only knows which one of them had a fucking phone out and was recording everything. This dude's fucking eliminated. Like, he ain't supposed to win this bitch anyway, so, like, you could tell he was reluctant. He's like, you're eliminated. And Kofi is just fucking standing there, and it was just the saddest fucking thing to see, because Kofi was there for several more seconds after it was established he was eliminated. And you're just kind of going, if you could just be a fly on the wall right at that moment, you just gotta be imagining Kofi's probably saying, but it wasn't supposed to happen like this. Are we sure we can't get me in there so I can do what I need to do? So we could do what I need to do. Are we sure I can't get in there? And you know, we can't somehow, nah, man, not when you got 7 motherfuckers that are watching you coming directly towards them, and they're watching your feet. Like, no, sorry, no, can't happen like that. So, yeah, dude, that did come off like a fucking botch. It did, especially after the commentators had hyped up Kofi. Yeah, you just knew that something special was going to happen. Something special. Because I got to tell you, I honestly believe we would have been in store for something really, really. And I wouldn't be surprised if as early as the next New Day podcast, and I'm definitely going to be listening for the next New Day podcast, I would not be surprised if Kofi appeared on there and basically was saying, hey, yo, yes, let me tell you, this is how originally it was supposed to go down. I have a feeling we will not have to wait that long to hear how it was originally supposed to go down. Seriously. That was definitely a hilarious spot. I'm just watching that shit in real time. I didn't even need to see the instant replay. I watched that shit in real time. I go, motherfucker's feet hit the canvas. He's out. Get the fuck out of here. He's out. Like, nah, you ain't gonna save that. And then sure enough, they're trying to figure it out. And then I like the fact that WWE just went on ahead. Fuck it. Just hit the replay. Hey, you got Cole in the game. Yeah, feet hit the canvas. Yep. Oh, we're now getting confirmation. As if we need confirmation. We've got 7 fucking fans that's looking at Kofi Kingston going, he's out. We've got a referee that's kind of looking like, what do we do? What do we do? We got the other referee. Hey, Holmes, you out, man. You got Kofi selling that motherfucker. Oh, I loved it. Yo, if that was not a botch, that's some damn good acting. That's all I got to say. That is some damn good acting. No, I don't want to see Bobby and Shane O'Mac. They can fuck. No, I don't want to see no more Shane McMahon. Seriously. Fucking Shane McMahon. Hey, how you doing? You doing okay? Your family's good? That's great. Happy to hear that. Really. Great that the family is good. Right. No. Shane O'Mac wasn't even in there for 20 seconds and he was already sweating profusely. Seriously. God, like, no, I'm good. Only time I want to see Shane McMahon is in my video games. Thank you. That's the point where I'm at right now. Keep Shane O'Mac as far away as possible from yeah, please. Let's see. What else you guys are saying here in the chat here before we get ready to wrap it up? I said I wasn't trying to do a 2-hour show, but you guys, you made me feel pretty good. Gave me a lot of energy. It's nice, good back and forth going on here. And it's nice to see a decent amount of you guys up at this time, just, hanging out, shooting the shit and all that. Let's catch up here. I like the idea of AJ versus Edge. That would be pretty good. I know for sure Edge would love to work with AJ. I wish I could recall the interview, but I know AJ is a name that Edge has brought up a couple of times. Let's see. Sasha Split was the highlight. Where will Rollins go after this? Rollins versus AJ Styles? Let me think for a second. Unless you're going to have that be a SmackDown versus Raw match because they're on separate brands. No, I feel that, and I said this on the watch along, I feel that Rollins and Roman are going to do something at WWE Chamber. I would not be surprised if they were to do a one-on-one match. I just feel that there is still some, you got to squash that because Roman won via DQ. So you got to put a nice little final stamp on that so we can solely just go right into Roman versus Brock and just solely be focused on that. So I would not be surprised if Rollins and Roman were to go at it at WWE Chamber. I could see that happening as far as like a one-on-one match. I could see them doing something of that nature. And then maybe a 6-man pod usually for the Chamber. I could see that one being a joint where take your pick. Maybe you've got that event as a Raw thing. Like nothing but Raw guys are in that one. And they're trying to figure out who's going to be the number one contender. Who's going to be the number one contender that's going to face, what's his face? That's going to face Bobby Lashley for the championship at WrestleMania. Let's see. But Goldberg, one match left. I would not be surprised if maybe against Edge I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think of the people that Goldberg said, hey, I would love to work with that person. There's a few people I remember Goldberg mentioning in an interview that he would like to work with. I kind of almost feel like he mentioned Damian Priest at some point. I could be wrong, but yeah, something is holding Big E back. I don't know what it is. It ain't the charisma, because he's got that. He's got that. Let's see here. I'm just scrolling back here. Yeah, I don't get why. Yeah, Brock winning. Yeah. Don't get why Brock won Royal Rumble. It's so clear to see the storyline when Reigns interrupted. Should have pushed someone else for a shot against Bobby. Would have set 2 matches essentially. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. Mystic, been a long time since I watched pro wrestling. Came back for Royal Rumble, and damn, holy fuck, WWE became worse. Oh man, Mystic, I feel bad for you, man. I feel bad for you. He went on to say, worst Royal Rumble match he's ever seen. He's totally over WWE. He can't take it. Wow, poor dude. Poor dude. I feel for you, man. Seriously. If it makes you feel any better, you missed it. You picked a hell of a time to start watching it, because it wasn't like this, I would say, and I think most people will agree with me when I say this. If you would have rewinded it back, honestly, I would say during the peak of the pandemic, and maybe right on up until 6, maybe 7 months ago, the product was actually pretty good. You had some pretty good faces, some pretty good names on there, and yeah. I feel for you, man. Shit, hopefully you've been watching at least NXT. If you weren't even at least watching NXT before it became 2.0, man, you really missed out on some good shit. As far as I'm concerned, you really missed out on some good shit. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's see here. George, NWA and Impact got some love with the Women's Royal Rumble. Yep. Mickey and Melina got the props they deserve. Yep. Let's see what else we got here. Tom, Redskins. I like the 2020 Royal Rumble where Edge made his long-awaited return. That was amazing. Yeah, that still holds up in recent memory. And Tone Redskins fan feels that the Royal Rumble for 2016 was pretty bad. Would you guys agree on that? Sound off on that. Excuse me for just trying to clear my throat here. Rollins is on Raw. Yeah, I thought Rollins was on Raw too, but then he was doing shit with Roman on SmackDown, so I would not be surprised if somehow Rollins pulled some strings to maybe, you know what I'm saying? It just feels like you gotta put a final stamp on that. It just feels like that. I would not be surprised if somehow Rollins managed to get Roman one more time. And the chamber is for that. You can have the chamber just be the blow off. Take care of whatever little miscellaneous. You can pretty much go that route. WWE really has no matches fans want to see. They've gotten rid of some main talent. Yeah. They got rid of some really, really good pieces of talent, man. I'm telling you straight up. At this point, I'm more excited for WrestleMania. Just to see what's going to be happening at WrestleMania. Because I know Taker's going to beat Austin. So I'm looking forward to seeing how those guys are going to be woven into all of that. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, so let's call it. Because at this point, it's about, almost 3:45. And we went 2+ hours only because you guys, your interactions, and we were feeding off of each other. Because I told you guys I wanted it to be a short show, but you guys really, so I like that. I don't feel bad that the show had went a little bit longer. It's better than doing 4+ hours of a pay-per-view, right? I mean, that's good, right? So let's go ahead. Let's call it DONE done. Your next edition of the RCWR show will be coming live at you guys on Monday night, January 31st, 11 p.m. Eastern, after WWE Raw goes off the air. Hey, yo, you still here? Do me a huge favor. Make sure if you haven't done so already, hit that like button. When you do that, you really help push our content out more to a wider audience. Really helps out as far as recommendations. Feel free to hit that subscribe button as well. Lets me know you definitely are enjoying the content, and I will do my best to keep it coming to you, man. Get at me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords, the RCWR show. So Monday, we got that. Tuesday, we have another NWA post show. Wednesday, because every Wednesday now, you're getting 2 shows on Wednesdays. The first show, we're going back and we're reviewing the Wild Women of Wrestling Lost episodes that was released on Pluto and the CW apps. So we just reviewed the 21st Lost episode from Wild Women of Wrestling. That's on the YouTube channel right now. I'll have the audio version of that be available sometime. Actually, you know what? I will upload it. If I can upload it tonight, I will gladly upload it tonight. Otherwise, I will upload it sometime this coming week, and you guys can check it out that way. And then we've got our AEW Dynamite coverage, talk a little NXT, go a little bit all over the place on the Wednesday night show. That will be on Wednesday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. So this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we got it loaded up for you guys as far as content goes. So make sure you check it out, man. Some good fucking shit. Some good fucking shit. 5 out of 10 show. Did you see Alexa tweet what a surprise when Ronda won? Deleted it straight away in the news. Like Sarah Logan returned, Drew returned. Where was Alexa? Lacey Evans, Asuka, nowhere to be found. A lot of people were under the impression that all of those girls were going to return. But you know what? If I were to try to defend WWE just a little tiny bit, did you really want for all of those girls to show up and be overshadowed by Ronda Rousey? Because with a lot of those faces, you can easily do some stuff on the road to WrestleMania, or more importantly, you've managed this long, you can do some stuff to save for Raw after Mania to make it even that much more important. So looking back on it in retrospect, you know, all things considered, with those names that were mentioned particularly, and it was great seeing Drew return, because honestly, with the whole neck thing, we thought Drew was going to be out for a whole lot longer. So, I mean, did the brother have surgery, or did he go through some type of therapeutic treatment to come back quicker? Who knows? But in regards to the other people, and look, we're going to be learning in the coming days. I told you guys during the live watch along, but I'll reiterate it here for this show. I know a lot of people have questions in the air about, what does this mean for the Sarah Logans, for the Camerons, for the Ivories, for this person and this person? Are they back with the company full time? Are they, you know, what's going on here? What does this mean exactly? Look, just enjoy, or somewhat try to enjoy, what you had got for this weekend. And I promise you, before Wednesday of this week, we will learn a lot more, whether it's going to come directly from WWE and or those said stars that were eyeing. You know, that remains to be seen. But I promise you, before Wednesday, we're going to know a lot more about what's going on. But last I heard, a lot of these people that had appeared were under one-off deals. Last I heard. Not for nothing, but the Iconics, Billy Kay, Peyton Royce, you know, they're down there now in Impact as the inspiration. They talked about passionately on their podcast how they were given an opportunity to appear in the Royal Rumble. And they turned it down. They were offered a pretty good amount of money, and they turned it down. Now, some of you guys may say, well, that's fucking stupid. What the hell? They turned it down. When it's all said and done, they're still pretty hurt over WWE releasing them a while back. They were not quite fond of it, and I would imagine that from a creative standpoint, they weren't really liking how WWE had did them and everything, especially as far as breaking them up and all that. So they had an opportunity to do the Royal Rumble tonight, and they passed on it. Just a one-shot deal. Just a one-shot deal. And they passed on it. So, but from what I understand, a lot of what went down with some of these people that were slated to come back and all that, from what I understand, one-shot deals. Of course, that could change. Maybe based off of some of these girls' performances tonight, right? You're going to have a one-shot deal, make one hell of a nice impression, make a good, strong impression to maybe want motherfuckers to say, hey, we want you to come on back. You think you could maybe come on for about a month, or how about a 3-month little date, do some of these live events. And look, I would not be surprised if some of those people that we saw tonight, if maybe there might be a little bit more of an extension. Look, not for nothing, but Molly Holly, she had been working, I think she still is working behind the scenes for WWE as a, what is she? She's either a trainer or she's one of the, people in production. I'm trying to remember. Bear with me a second here as far as her run in WWE goes right now. I'm just trying to think if it's current or... Hang on here. Yeah. She is a... she was a former WWE producer. She was a former WWE producer along with Sean Daivari. It's kind of coming back to me now. I think they were in some recent cuts or whatever. So, that, who knows? Who freaking knows? But wait until about Wednesday, and we'll learn a little bit more about what's going on with some of these people. Y'all tripping over those names, and I ain't seen now one person mention Veer Mahan. I'm gonna leave you guys on that note. Veer Mahan, hit the like, hit the subs, all that good shit. Get at me on social media, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Use the keywords the RCWR Show. I am out of here on that note. To those of you once again that hung out with me for the live watch along, mad respect, mad shout out to you guys. Those of you that watched that and you came on, you saw this, or you're checking this out on demand after that, appreciate you guys big time. You guys mean a whole fucking lot. Love you guys tremendously. I'm going to get me some well-deserved rest, and I will catch you guys on Monday night. Be safe. Be kind to one another. Peace, y'all. Take care.